September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except the willow. Try to remember when life was so tender that dreams were kept beside your pillow. Try to remember when life was so tender that love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember without a hurt. The heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow. Follow, 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 follow. Now, let me tell you a few things before we begin the play. First off, the characters. A boy, a girl, two fathers, and a wall. Anything else that's needed, we can get out of this box. Now, it's hard to know which is most important or how it all began. The boy was born, the girl was born. They grew up quickly, went to school, became shy in their own ways and for different reasons. Read romances, studied cloud formations in the lazy afternoon, and instead of reading textbooks, tried to memorize the moon. Oh, and when the girl was 16, she was much younger than the boy, she began to notice something strange. Her ugly duckling features had undergone a change. In short, she was growing pretty. For the first time in her whole life, pretty. Yeah, and the shock so stunned and thrilled her that she became almost immediately, incurably insane. Observe.
The moon turns red on my birthday every year, and it always will, until somebody saves me and takes me back to my palace.
That is a typical remark. The other symptoms vary. She thinks that she is a princess, that her name must be in French or sometimes Eurasian, although she isn't quite sure what that is.
You see, nobody can feel the way that I feel and have a father named Amos Babcock Bellamy.
She has a glue paste necklace that she thinks is really real.
I found it in the attic with my mother's name inside. It's my favorite possession.
It's her fancy.
It's my pride. This morning, a bird woke me up. It was a lark, a peacock, some strange sort of bird that I'd never heard. And I said, "Hello!" And it vanished, flew away. The very minute I said hello. It was mysterious. So, do you know what I did? I went over to my mirror, and I put on my mother's necklace. And the minute that the jewels touched my skin, my eyes turned mauve! No, honestly, mauve. And then blue, and then a sort of deep magenta when the sun hit them. I'm 16 years old, and every day something happens to me. I don't know what to make of it. When I get up in the morning to get dressed, I can tell. Something is different. I like to touch my eyelids because they're never quite the same. Oh! I hug myself until my arms turn blue, and then I close my eyes and I cry until the tears come running down and I can taste them. I love to taste my tears. I am special. I am special. Please, God, please, don't let me be normal. I'd like to swim in a clear blue stream where the water is icy cold, then go to town in a golden gown and have my fortune told. Just once, just once, just once before I'm old. I'd like to be not evil, but a little worldly wise, to be the kind of girl designed to be kissed upon the eyes. I'd like to dance till 2 o'clock, or sometimes dance till dawn, or if the band could stand it, just go on and on and on. Just once, before the chance is gone. I'd like to waste a week or two and never do a chore, to wear my hair unfastened so it billows to the floor. To do the things I dreamed about but never done before. Perhaps I'm bad or wild or mad with lots of grief in store, but I want much more than keeping house, much more, much
Very good! And now, the boy. His story might be a wee bit briefer because it's pretty much the same. Oh.
There is this girl.
That is the essence.
There is this girl.
I warn you, it may be monotonous.
There is this girl. I'm nearly 20 years old. I've had an education, studied biology, been inside a lab, dissected violets. I know the way things are. I'm grown up, stayed willing to conform. I'm beyond such foolish notions. And yet, in spite of my knowledge, there is this girl. She makes me young again and foolish. And with her, I perform the impossible. I defy biology and achieve ignorance. There are no other ears but hers to hear the explosion of my soul. There are no other eyes but hers to make me wise. And despite what they say of species, there is not one plant or animal or living thing made quite the same as she is. It's stupid, I know it, and immensely undignified. But I do love her.
Look! This is the wall their fathers built between their houses.
They built it ages ago. Last month when I came home from school. Poor fools, they built it to keep us apart. I wonder if she's there now. I hope so. I'll see. I don't know what to call her. She's too vibrant for a name. What shall I call her? Juliet.
Yes, dear.
Helena.
Yes, dear.
And Cassandra. And Cleopatra. And Beatrice. And also Guinevere.
What, dear?
I think she's there. Can you hear me?
Barely.
I've been speaking of you.
To whom?
To them. I told them that if they were to ask me to describe you, I'd be utterly and totally speechless. Except to say, perhaps it's your Polaris, or the inside of a leaf.
Speak a little louder.
I love you. If I was in a desert deep in sand, and the sun was burning like a hot pomegranate, walking through a nightmare in the heat of summer day, until my mind was parched, then you are water. Cool, clear water, a refreshing glass of water.
What, dear?
Water. Love, you are love, better far than a metaphor can ever be. Love, you are love, my mystery of iceberg, and everything was frozen, and tears turned into icicles in the eye, and snow came pouring, and sleet and ice came stabbing like a knife. Then you are heat, a fire alive with heat, a flame that thaws the iceberg with its heat.
Repeat.
You are heat. Trustworthy star, you are September, a special mystery to me. You are sunlight, moonlight, mountains, valleys, the microscopic inside of a leaf. My joy, my grief, my star. I know, I had to climb out the window. My father locked my room.
Oh, God! Be careful! Suppose you were to fall!
It's on the ground floor.
Oh.
Still, it's very small. I could get stuck.
This is madness, isn't it?
It's absolutely mad.
And also very wicked?
Yes.
I'm glad.
Oh, my father would be furious if he knew.
Listen, I have had a vision.
Of disaster.
No, of azaleas.
Azaleas?
I dreamed I was in the garden picking azaleas when all at once, this man, he was very old, I'd say nearly 40, but attractive and very evil.
I hate him.
And he had a retinue of scoundrels, and they were all hiding behind the rhododendrons, and all at once, as I went to pick an azalea, he leapt out!
God, I hate him.
In my vision, how I struggled, like the rape of the Sabine women, and I cried, help!
And I was there?
Yes, you come rushing to the rescue, and single-handed, you fight off all of his men and win.
And then?
Celebration!
Fireworks!
Fiesta!
Laughter!
Our fathers get in!
We live happily ever after!
There's no reason in the world why it can't happen exactly like that.
It's my father!
Oh, kiss me!
Too much moisture. There are a great many things I could tell you about myself. I was once in the Navy. That's where I learned horticulture. Yes, I've been the world over. I've seen it all. Mountain cactus, the century plant, Japanese ivy, and exotic ports where bobwort was sold on the open market. I'm a man of experience. And there's one thing I've learned. Too much moisture is worse than none at all. Prune a plant, avoid water, and go easy on manure. Moderation. That's the moral. That's my son's foot.
Hello, Father.
What are you doing up in that tree?
Writing verses.
Curses.
How's that?
I offer a father's curses to the kind of education that make our children fools. I sent this boy to school, to college, and I hope you know what that costs. Did he learn to dig a cesspool? No. He's up there now, writing verses. Why do I always find you standing beside that wall?
I'm waiting for it to fall. Besides, I like it. I like its lovely texture and its pretty little eyes.
Walls don't have eyes.
Then what do you call this flower?
Sweet God, he's clever!
Son, you're an ass. There you stand every day writing verses, while who knows what our neighbor is up to on the other side of that wall. He's a villain. I'll not have it. I'll strip down those branches where an enemy could climb. I'll line that wall with bottles. I'll jag it up with glass. What was that?
Some broken willow. Some wounded little bird.
Maybe. But let's get... Walls have ears, even though they don't have eyes. I'll just take a look. Oh, there's that stiffness again. The result of my Navy career. Here, son, you climb. You can see for me.
All right, Father.
What do you see?
I love you.
I love you too.
What are you mumbling about? Get down from there if there's nothing to be seen. Down, I say.
I obey.
Son, you're an idiot. So I decided you need to be married. So I went shopping this morning and picked you out a wife.
Ah!
There's that sound again.
Anguished bird.
Weeping willow, maybe. But let's get back to business. Son, I picked you out a girl, a pearl.
And if I prefer a diamond?
How dare you prefer a diamond when I have just offered you a pearl?
Listen carefully to what I have to say. Listen, wall, and flowers, and willow, and wounded bird. And you, Father, may as well listen too.
Now, see,
I will not wed by your wisdom. I will not walk neatly into a church and contract out to prolongate my race.
What?
I will not go wedding in a too tight suit, nor will I be witnessed when I take my bride.
You will do as I say.
No! I'll marry when I marry in my own particular way, and my bride shall dress in sunlight with rain for her wedding day, out in the open with no one standing by. No song except September being sung in the busy grass. No sound except our heartbeats roaring like a flower alive with bees. Without benefit of neighbor, without benefit of book, except perhaps her handprint as she presses her hand in mine, except perhaps her imprint as she gives me her golden hair. There, in a field, while kneeling, being joined by the joy of life. There, in the air, in the open, that's how I plan to wife.
Son, you need pruning. Come inside and write simplicity 200 times without stopping. Perhaps that will improve your style.
That's right. Drink away. Open up your thirsty little mouths. I'm her father, and believe me, it isn't easy. Perhaps that's why I love vegetables. So dependable. I mean, you plant a radish, you know what you're about. You don't get a turnip or a cabbage, no. Plant a turnip, get a turnip. Plant a cabbage, get a cabbage. While with children, I thought I had planted a turnip, or at worst, perhaps an avocado, something remotely useful. I'm a merchant. I sell buttons. What need do I have for a rose? There she is. Missy, you must go inside.
I told you, I'm a princess.
You are a button maker's daughter. Now do as you're told and go inside. Our enemy is beyond that wall, up to something. I can feel it. Him and his no good son. Look out, you stepped in my peppers. That settles it. I'll build a fence by this wall, a high fence with barbed stickers, an arsenal of wire.
A fence is expensive, Papa.
Well, expensive, huh? I'll build it myself then. No, do as you're told, go inside. Go, 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 go! Is she gone? Yodelay-hoo.
Yodelady, yodelady, yodelady.
Huckabee!
Bellamy!
Oliver!
Fred!
How's the gout?
I barely noticed. And your asthma?
A trifle. I endure it.
It's nearly settled.
What is?
The marriage! They're nearly ready. I hid in the bushes to listen. It's something they're out of their minds with love.
Hooray!
Oh, my son, he is fantastic.
My daughter, she is fantastic too. They're both of them mad.
They are geese.
It was a great plan we had to build this wall.
Yes, and to pretend to feud.
Just think if they knew that we wanted them wed.
A pre-arranged marriage.
They'd rather be dead.
Children, lovers, fantastics, geese. How clever we are.
How crafty to know.
To manipulate children.
You merely say
No.
Oh,
Dogs got to bark, mules got to ring. Soldiers must fight and preachers must pray. And children, I guess, must get their own way. The minute that you say no, why did the kids pour jam on the cat? Raspberry jam all over the cat. Why should the kids do something like that when all that we said was no? My son was once afraid to swim. The water made him wince until I said he mustn't swim. Been swimming ever since. Been swimming ever since. Oh. felt dead.
Your daughter brings a young man home. Sister, you like it, Pa? Just say that he's a fool and then you've got a son-in-law. You've got a son-in-law. Oh, sure as a Jew comes right after day. Sure as a night comes right after day. You can't be sure the devil's the day, the minute that you say no. Make sure you never say no. Well, there's only one problem left.
How to end the feud?
Exactly, you guessed it. We mustn't let them know.
Oh no, if they knew, we're finished.
We're through.
See, I think I found the answer.
Huh?
It's delicious, very theatrical. An abduction.
Who's abducted?
Your daughter?
Who abducts her?
A professional abductor. And I've hired the very man.
Gentlemen, good evening.
What the devil?
Who are you?
I was sent for. A family in distress.
Oh, yes, of course. You are the famous El Gato.
El Gallo.
Oh, see.
See.
See, this is what I was about to tell you. This man is a magician. He can help us. You see, we have ourselves a little problem.
A love problem.
I see. You two have a love problem. And you've come to me for help. Interesting. Very interesting.
Wait a
We're
minute.
not talking about us. We're talking about our kids.
Who happen to be a boy and a girl?
Less challenging.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But I'll see what I can do. You say you have a daughter.
Yes.
I see a girl.
Is her name Louisa?
Is that your daughter's name?
Yes.
That's her. She's standing next to a young man who must be, oh, quick, before the image fades. Exactly, Matt.
Oh my God.
You're amazing.
Well, they seem happy enough.
What about the feud?
Oh, yes, of course. The feud.
Well, that's what I contacted you about. See? This is what I was about to tell you. We hired this man to assist us. He starts to kidnap your daughter, my son, runs in to save her, then ooh, a battle.
I allow the boy to defeat me.
Yes, my son becomes the hero, and the feud is over forever.
Wow. Wow. How much for such a drama?
That, senor, depends.
On what?
What else? The ravishment of your daughter.
No.
Forgive me. The attempted ravishment, the abduction, the raid, the seizure, the chase. Call it what you will.
I heard her speak of Sabine women.
Huh?
Well, it doesn't sound right to me.
Oh, but it is, I assure you. As a matter of fact, it's standard. The lovers meet in secret and so forth. A group of villains interrupts them and so forth. The boy fights off pirates and Vikings and bandits. The parents relent. Happy ending and so forth. All is quite standard.
What about the cost and so forth?
Cost goes by type. In your case, I would recommend a first class.
You mean we have a choice?
Yes, of course, with regular union rates. It depends on what you pay. You have to pay. So come on and pay. with the obvious open schoolboy chase, with little mandolins and a fast embrace. A childish prank is little in request. A first-class raid, that is what I would suggest. Just try to see it, and you will soon agree. Say your why, invite regret. When you can order an abduction, you will never forget. An abduction that's emphatic, an abduction that's polite. An abduction on a moonlit night, a truly charming sight. An abduction done on a hot day, I'll say it's new and gay. So you see the masquerade depends on what you pay. It depends on what you pay.
It depends on what you pay. I was thinking it depends on what you pay.
A spectacular raid with costumes ordered from the east requires rehearsal and takes 12 men at least. A couple singers and a string quartet. A major production requires a set.
Sounds expensive.
Just try to see it, and you will soon agree. Senor, why invite regret? When you can order an abduction, you will never forget. An abduction that's emphatic, an abduction that's polite. An abduction on a moonlit night, a truly charming sight. An abduction done on horseback, they'll say it's distant days. So you see the masquerade depends on what you pay. So you see the masquerade depends on what you pay. It depends on what you pay.
It depends on what you pay.
The comic snatch, perhaps it's just a trifle too unique. The pastoral, done while canoeing on a moonlit creek.
That's kind of pretty.
The gothic rope, I play Valkyrie on a bass bassoon. The drunken brawl, I fight the boy inside a cheap saloon. Perhaps you'd like a special rape ballet. I make an entrance doing grand jeté. Ballet is expensive, but it's in demand. The military siege is done with drummers and a band. You understand?
I understand.
It's very grand.
Very grand.
It's done with drums and a great big brass band. Hey!
It's so Spanish. That's why I like it.
I like it too.
Try to see it, and you will soon agree. Senor, why invite regret? When you can order an abduction, you will never forget. Just pay. So you see the masquerade depends on what you pay. So you see the masquerade depends on what you pay. So you see the masquerade depends on what you pay. So you see depends on what? On what you
I say they're only young ones. Let's order us a first class.
pay. One abduction. First class.
With trimming.
With trimming.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. Is it to be a big affair or intimate?
We thought just the children.
I mean afterwards. At the party?
Ooh, no, just the immediate family.
No guests? Perhaps a small gathering on the lawn?
Too expensive. Just the immediate family will be enough.
As you wish. That means the orchestra can go home. But still, big affairs are nice.
Perhaps some other time.
All right. Well, you two better be off and rehearse your parts.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
An abduction that's emphatic, an abduction that's polite, an abduction on a moonlit night, a truly charming song. I can't wait.
Time is rushing, and a major production to do. I need actors, extra actors, to help me pull off this elaborate abduction. But I'm not worried. Something will turn up. I can sense it in the air.
Is that our cue?
No, not
There. You hear? What did I tell you?
Sir, the players have arrived.
Senor, the players are most welcome.
Oh, please don't look at us as we are, sir. Imagine us in makeup, caked powder pink. Imagine a beard, full-blown and blowing like the whiskers on a bear. Yes, and hair. Imagine hair in a box. I've got all colors, so I beg you, imagine hair. And not these clothes. No, not rags like any beggar has. But see me in a doublet. Mortimer, fetch the doublet. There. Imagine. It's torn, I know. Forget it, it vanishes under the light. Well, that's it. That's the whole trick. See me under light. I recite. Say a cue. I'll know it. Go on, say one, try me.
Friends, Romans, countrymen.
It's what?
Friends, Romans, countrymen.
No, don't tell me. I'll get it. Let's see. Friends. Romans?
I think it's the one of the book at the end.
Oh, I get your blind thing you're saying.
I think it's the one of the book at the end.
Oh, yes, of course. That's easy. You should have picked out something hard. Oh, watch this. Friends. Romans. Countrymen. Screw your courage to the sticking place and be not sick and fell with grief. That thou, her handmaidens, should be far more fair than she is. How's that?
Amazing!
Imagine it under the lights, I assure you, it's dazzling. I'm Henry Albertson. Perhaps you recall my Hamlet.
Of course!
You remember? Would you like to see the clippings?
Oh, perhaps later.
As you wish. I preserve them. Someday I may write a book. This is Mortimer. He does death scenes. He's been with me 40 years. Would you like to see one? He's an expert. Go ahead, Mortimer. No, die for the man.
Bravo!
There, you see, what did I tell you? Now down to business. You, sir, need players?
For a love scene. Have you done romantic drama, Henry?
That, sir, is my specialty. Have you never seen my Romeo?
I must have missed.
You missed my Romeo!
I don't think I was born yet.
What about my Brutus?
No.
Oh, Lear, Richard II, Richard III, Rip Van Winkle, Peter Pan. I have the clippings.
Oh, Henry, here's the path.
Ah.
We'll allow these players to play something like the abduction of the maiden before this lover.
And if he but flinch.
We'll stand our ground and fight until the lot of us is downed.
Oh, nobly done.
This way, Henry.
Henry,
Yes.
where do you want me?
Off left, Mortimer, always off left.
Henry,
Yes.
what's my cue?
I'll tell you when it's time. Oh, and Mortimer, remember to dress the stage. Dress the stage. Dear friend, don't crumple up when you die. Oh, gosh, he's not a real swashbuckler, you know. Well, I guess that's about it. I imagine we'd better hide now.
Oh, I nearly forgot. I promised them moonlight.
Amazing.
Beautiful, eh? A lover's moon? You go on ahead, Henry. I'll be right there. You wonder how these things begin. Well, this begins with a glen. It begins with the season which, for want of a better word, we might as well call September. It begins in a forest with a woodchuck swoop and leaves wax green. Vines entwine like lovers. Try to see it. not with your eyes, for they are wise,
It'll work at halftime, Chrissy.
but
They
see
turned
it
something
with
off
your
outside, I know what it is.
ears, the cool, green breathing of the leaves, and hear it with the inside of your hand, the soundless sound of shadows flicking light. Celebrate sensation. Recall that secret place. You've been there. You remember that special place where once, just once, in your crowded, sunlit lifetime, you hid away in the shadows from the tyranny of time. That spot beside the clover where someone's hand held your hand, and love was sweeter than the berries, or the honey, or the stinging taste of mint. It is September, before rainfall, a perfect time to be in love.
Hello.
Hello. My father's going to be very angry.
I know, so is mine.
We've never been here at night.
No.
It's different from the day.
Are you frightened?
Yes. No. It's cold here. There's gonna be a storm.
Would you like my jacket?
No, thank you. Matt,
Yes.
my hand is trembling.
Don't be afraid. Please.
All right. I promise.
There. It'll be all right.
Matt, take care of me. Teach me. I don't want to be awkward or afraid. I love you, Matt. I want there to be a happy ending.
I promise there will be. Look,
What?
my hand is trembling too.
Hear how the wind begins to whisper. See how the leaves go streaming by. Smell how the velvet rain is falling out where the fields are warm and dry. Now is the time to find a hideaway. Now is the time to find a place where we can
Soon it's gonna rain, I can see it. Soon it's gonna rain, I can tell. Soon it's gonna rain, what are we gonna do? Soon it's gonna rain, I can feel it. Soon it's gonna rain, I can tell. Soon it's gonna rain, what'll we do with you? We'll find 4 limbs of a tree, we'll build 4 walls and a floor, we'll bind it over with leaves and duck inside to stay. Then we'll let it rain, we'll not feel it. Then we'll let it rain, rain pell-mell. And we'll not complain if it never stops at all. We'll live and love within our own 4 walls. like for me to show you around the castle?
Oh, yes, please!
The lookout tower. Oh, and the throne.
Oh.
And this, our family's pride and joy, the ballroom.
My, how grand!
Princess.
Your Highness.
We'll find 4 limbs of a tree.
We'll build 4 walls and a floor.
We'll bind it over with leaves and run inside to stay. Come run inside to stay. And then let it rain. I can see it. I can feel it. Run inside. And then we'll let it rain. We'll not feel it. Then we'll let it rain. Rain pell-mell. And we'll not complain
Happy ending.
if it never stops at all.
We'll live and love within our walls.
Happily we'll live and love, no cares at all. Happily we'll live and love within our castle wall.
Thank you so much. Orchestra, accelerando con molto prosciutto. Swords. Assailants ready? Assailants, abduct. Yes. No! I got left. A touch, I do confess it. Ready, cavalry?
Who is that? He's coming back! Oh, get behind me! Let's get out of here!
wrist, dying like that. It ain't the easiest thing in the business, but I like it. Oh, I've been dying for 40 years, ever since I was a boy. Oh, you should have seen me in those days. I could die off a 20-foot cliff, backwards. People used to cry out, "Die again, Mortimer, die again!" But of course, I never did. All right.
Well, Henry, are you off?
Yes, going somewhere. There's not much left of the old company anymore, you know. It's just Mortimer and me, but we get by. I recite Shakespeare and Mortimer dies, but there's usually an audience somewhere.
Henry, good night, sweet prince.
Oh, and may flights of angels sing thee to... That's my light! Oh, thank you. And may flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why doth the drum come? Mortimer! There are no small actors, Mortimer, just small parts. Remember me in light!
Very pretty, eh? Worthy of Watteau? A group of living statues. What do they call that? A tableau. I wonder how long they can hold it. They'll try to, I suppose, and yet it won't be easy to hold such a pretty pose. We'll see. We'll leave them a little while, then we'll see. Act 1 is over. It's intermission now.